We have both Cyberdarks and Rose Dragons today. Make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more Oz content. Now, we are missing a little bit of details on this top cut, but this regional is so unique in itself that I wanted to talk about it just on what we do know here. Now, your highest representative is actually none other than Yummy Mitsurugi. I mean, that's a pretty normal call when we are getting the chance to look at and analyze these regionals. But there are some abnormalities here. We do have Branded coming through and doing very, very well. But also, we had Rose Dragons and Cyberdarks, which are both two crazy challengers that should not even be doing remotely well. And here you are, you're seeing absolutely a success story here that feels a little bit different than, what we're used to seeing. And also, once again, you get to see the reflection of prices here, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Looks much cheaper than it's been. Let's pass on over to those deck lists. Winning our event here is actually Dracotail. Now, I think this is actually kind of a pretty big deal, because with as much Yummy Mitsurugi as we saw smashing through the top cut of this event, I'm honestly just kind of impressed, man. The Branded build, I think, has become the dominant build right now for Dracotail, even if it's not like a crazy splash of what you're looking for. You do tend to notice that you just slot in the one Fallen of Albaz. You do also have the one Blazing Cartesia just to kind of help you along with some of the pieces, which is good. And of course, Sting has remained probably one of the best inclusions that this deck has had to add into its arsenal as of late. Especially when you've got to fight a lot of these uphill battles. I mean, in the mirror match, you don't have to really worry about that. But this top cut didn't really have mirror matches that you really had to worry about. If anything, the scariest thing you had to deal with was either Rose Dragons and Cyberdarks challenging you. You also do see we are playing Triple Pan. We do have the one Frixel in here. I will say that actually having the Triple Pan in here, I think, has worked out a lot better. And also, getting that monster destruction effect is kind of what you're going for. While, Orgorla is good, there's not as much Spell and Trap hate or backer that I really need to worry about right now. So that's a pretty big one. Cyber frickin' Darks. Well, first of all, let's give a shout out to good old Molnirlock. One of the reasons why a deck like this can actually be successful in the current game is because when I have a soft lock that I'm able to roll out against the opponent and they can't really deploy or counter this, then, it does work out very, very well. I mean, you've already got natural level 5 synergy within the Cyber Dragon stuff as it is to be able to tutor with and work with. So, I mean, those are some pretty big things for you to really consider. And yes, we are playing Noroi in here. The cool thing is, Noroi basically being able to be this giga powerhouse monster when we need it to be able to toggle into the extra pieces and get things going is going to be very, very solid. Honestly, this deck puts enough level 5s on the field that achieving the Molnirlock is going to be, pretty insanely easy for this. It's also really cool to get to see that the Cyber Dragon cores also are having a good consistency run through here, because I just appreciate the fact that, Cyber Dragon core actually still has a bit of a working piece in the game. Also, for this build being 51 cards, we're still going with just 2 copies of Case of Canine. We're not really trying to bulk down necessarily too heavy on this. So I think that's very, very interesting. Next up here. Oh boy, the Yummy Mitsurugi pile. Now, when you're looking at these builds, you need to understand that there are so many different ways and so many variants of tech choices you can go with. I mean, I've seen builds where they're just playing Saji, for example. Now, this build is actually going with the Aramasa and the Kusanagi built into the main deck. So you can make the argument here and go, well, do I really need these? I think the answer is yes, you need them, because you're choosing to play the Futsu. When the Futsu comes into the equation, then we have to start to look at the options here of, all right, having this extra body means I need to extend out the extra names here, and we need to have access to this. No matter what you want to say or try to do in terms of a different variant from this, I'm going to tell you the same thing. It's all going to probably work out for you. Also do see this build's going with 2 rituals, which I think is fine. We also do get to see the cosmics, the double cyclones actually showing up in here, just guaranteeing that, you know, you can get that chain dodge as you really need to. So not too bad. Also got triple pre-prep. I mean, for 43 cards, this deck looks fine. You've also got 2 Droll and Lockbird in here, which I think once again works out. You know, you've got to kind of handle your tech choices where you can, but I think this deck does a fantastic job at doing just that. Next up, I see that somebody got a little bit spicy and decided to test out, you know, the 60 card pile that we've infamously been seeing Triff have success with. But once again, this is the thing I was talking about, you know, on your bare minimum on the ritual package, you know, you just need the 1 copy of the Saji to destroy to be able to get, you know, the higher, you know, echelon of this going. You also do get to see, yes, we have the Novelaz package in here with the Angry Burger. It is a ha-ha funny thing to me, but it does work out, and I love it. We also do get to see the Shark Cannon actually seeing play in here. I think this has been the latest development that we've seen from this list, was just the build-in of the Shark Cannon. Because if you do see the Shark Cannon, you know, you can basically bump out anything from your opponent's graveyard. But also, if you happen to steal a Yummy from your opponent, you basically got a full starter access for you to set up. So that's honestly why I like this card a lot. Not only does it give you massively good control options, but you can also steal something from your opponent and have it act as, you know, basically a starter / extender for you. Honestly, I do think that that's kind of worth looking at here. You know, you just got to look at your options and go, hey, you know, all of these tools are going very, very strongly. Why are we not considering, you know, using these to the best of our degree? That's a lot to kind of think about. Next up here, we have Rose Dragons, and we are playing the Fairy Ant and the Cyclist, the Circular Sprites. These are tools that I don't really get to see all that much within a deck like this. We've also got the White Rose Cloister. I mean, what? You can start summon a Rose Dragon monster or plant monster from your hand if you control no monsters. So this becomes acting as a free little starter for the deck. This build also is using the new Lycoris Lily Reaper, which is if a monster is sent from the field to your opponent's graveyard while this card is in the monster zone, even during damage step, you can gain life points equal to one of those monsters' attack in their graveyard. And your opponent takes effect damage while this card is in your graveyard and banishes to send a monster from the field to the graveyard with attack less than or equal to the difference in your life points and your opponent's life points. So you actually do have life point manipulation within this deck. And I think this is one of the coolest builds of anything dragon related that we have seen coming out in a very, very long time, people. Also, we do have this Fairy Seed and the Stay Sailor in here. So this is like, we've taken all of the good things that Rose Dragons have had released over the last couple of years. We went ahead and we shoved them into a deck and said, hey, this is what's working out. These are the tools that are doing absolutely the best job. And we have a successful build. That's crazy. Next up here, we have some more good old yummy Mitsurugi for you. Now this build, once again, we are playing the food, so you do see the extensions through the Aramasa and the Kusanagi. You know, you just want to have those extra names just to be able to kind of keep going through, which I think is fine. We also do get to see, we have the Contact Sea, and we also have Retaliating Seas down here in the side deck, as you typically do want to see. And of course, I mean, why would you not be siding Great Purification? I mean, this is one of the most important cards that you can have access to be able to get set up and to play the game. Now, this build is also only playing 1 copy of the Ritual, which I think is fine. We don't really want to go too crazy on this. I do appreciate this. Also, 1 Lollipop, 2 Cookie. This is, I think, the most cookie cutter of the variants that you've seen. So, what do you guys think about all the cool, yummy pile ideas that are kind of floating around out here? You know, you got a lot of good options, and I actually kind of appreciate just seeing what is floating around out here. So please, leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I will see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.